Hey everybody, it's Steven GetMoneyMyrick here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about suggestions you all have for how we can improve Street Fighter Duel. And when it comes to suggestions on how to improve the game, I figured the best place to start was checking the official Discord page for Street Fighter Duel. So if you're not aware, I am sponsored by the Street Fighter Duel Discord. You can find a link to it in my description below. But they have a channel called Game Feedback where anybody can go in and leave suggestions about how they would improve the game. So I'm going to be going through this list of suggestions. Let me look at the ones that are the highest rated, maybe some that are the most controversial, and talk about what do people want to see happen in the game. What changes do they want to see? I did also want to say that if you're not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you're subscribed. I think you'll all enjoy this video. It's going to be more of a discussion, just talking about different ideas with the game, some problems we're seeing. This is a way you can really tell if the developers and the team are really paying attention to players. Looking through these comments and seeing the ones that have the most upvotes on them, and does anything change? So let's go ahead, talk about some of the ideas people have thrown out, and I will be giving my thoughts about them. If I talk about your comment in this video, just don't take it personally. You've put yourself out there for public feedback by having your name assigned to them. But I'm just going to go through and look for anything that has 25 upvotes or more. So you can see there's a good amount of comment here. There could be some good suggestions thrown in there too. You're welcome to review the list yourself. But we're looking for anything that's 25 upvotes. So we're going to start with Narco. Yesterday suggesting Steps of Honor, just give it back and reward players who are on the top. That was the most exciting thing in the game for now. Arena PvP overall is boring. Most of the fights are against bots. PvE competition is mandatory feature in all games. I don't know why you did that. We're losing on both sides, devs and players. This game feels empty now for real. So if you're not aware, Steps of Honor was this limited event. I think it lasts about the first 30 days. And so whenever you join a server, it's open for that first 30 days. And basically, it rewards players that meet certain achievements the first time. So you can see there's within the challenge mode and the Supreme Fist mode. And by hitting certain levels, if you're in the top 3, meaning one of the first 3 to hit it, you get the special reward. And then if you were in the individual level, claimed it and completed it, you got like a much worse reward. So this really helped Wales pull ahead early on in the game by getting just some insane rewards for being in the top 3. And honestly, I completely agree with this feedback that removing Steps of Honor doesn't really make sense. I get that it was in the event section, which is usually limited, but there is no reason that this should be limited to a certain time. When you consider we have the milestone section, which shows how far players have gone within Challenge, Supreme Fist, and these different shrine rankings, I really just don't see a reason why we need to worry about having Steps of Honor up. I think it's cool to keep that kind of in history, see all the 3 fighters that made it. You get a little extra rewards if you just clear the content, even if you're at the first 3. So really, it's kind of dumb they got rid of it. I love seeing rankings. I love seeing first achievements. Yes, it's cool that you can see like historical stuff now, or you can see like current stuff of who's in the lead, but the fact that they got rid of historical information just really sucks. They have some other things out here like PvP overall is boring. Most of the fights are against bots. That is something that's interesting. If you haven't noticed, a lot of the fights that you do in PvP are against bots. I think they really screwed up and made like way too many servers, so there just aren't enough people, so they're filling it with bots. You can kind of tell usually if it's a bot by if there's a space in their name. Yeah, when you're doing fights, if you see a space in the name, that is a system assigned name. So obviously, technically, it could be somebody original, but it's most of the time going to be a bot. So when we check out this player, and hopefully they are a bot, it's just very weird to have like level 206 characters for everybody, and to have this many, have 12 SSSs, including a SSS skin. It just doesn't really make any sense. So they've like added bots just to have them there, just to make it seem like the game is full. But obviously the better solution is just combining servers. I don't really agree that arena PvP is boring. I do wish that like in Shadowloo we could skip fights. That would be a nice thing, and especially like some of the like guild battles or crusades, like giving me the ability to skip fight. Obviously they've added the raid button for some of the guild fights there, but just the ability to skip more fights if you're in a hurry that day and you don't want to min-max your damage. Just let players skip fights. Okay, on to the next comment. Hello John. Hello, I'm John. Has something similar about bringing back Steps of Honor. As they mentioned, the fact that they got rid of it means that when they add higher chapters in part 2, you know, you're not going to have the historical part now of who cleared them first, like, because they got rid of it. So like as they add more campaign levels, it'd be fun to go back and see, you know, who cleared what and all that stuff. So it's just a really weird choice to get rid of it, is what they're saying. The next comment is about the drama around Akuma. A lot of people are speculating about how Akuma's event is going to work. A lot of people are concerned because if you look at the tickets that we are getting for the Akuma event, they have this symbol here that is like a limited event symbol, special summon ticket. They don't say it specifically here, but it's like implying that there's going to be like a limited summon for Akuma. And it's the same symbol that is on the Ken fighter. If we check out Gormagala Ken, is that same limited symbol. And so a lot of people are concerned that Akuma is going to get the same treatment that Ken had. We have been told that Akuma is going to be different than Ken, and that Ken was a collab character and that's why he was different. But we have also got feedback to reduce confusion about Akuma's permanence in game. The recruit ticket has also been renamed to special summon ticket from limited recruit ticket, since Akuma will not leave the game after the event. So that's good news. It's not like Ken where he will be leaving the game. It's not like other collab characters. But this comment here is, you know, if this is true based on recent conversations among the community and you're capping the amount of gems we can use on Akuma summon, and if you're really giving the bison treatment, then you're just confirming your intentions to milk the udders of the wells. I don't really understand this. It got voted a lot, but I don't get what they mean by giving the bison treatment. I mean, there was no limit on how many gems we could spend on bison. You know, we could do divination summons and to our heart's content until we got a SSS bison. So this doesn't really seem the same to me. I think maybe what they're saying is they're concerned that even if you have 100,000 gems, you might not be able to get Akuma. But considering that his event is going to stick around, I do think there are going to be ways to get Akuma no matter what. And we're on a streak now because the comment right above it by Neo Fire talks about divination summons. Divination summons are horrible value for gems that are pulling fire is ridiculous low, and divination expensive for the rewards it gives. There are ways to fix this. Increase the rate, improve non-fighter rewards, introduce more relevance to the 5k gem tag, as well as having a consistent pity system in place. So the pity system is an interesting comment. I've seen different people like speculating about pity systems, a lot of hidden pity systems within the game. I don't know for a fact what the actual pity systems are, but I will agree with their feedback that divinations are pretty much bad use of your gems. Now, if you have a lot of gems and you don't have anything to do with them, Bison obviously is broken, and it's way better to spend 5,000 gems for a chance to get Bison than to spend $100 to guarantee get one. But most of the rewards you get other than Bison are not so great. I've never gotten the 30,000 gem pool, although I have seen people get it in the past. I don't hate divinations. They are a resource there to get the heroes you really need in a way that, you know, it does cost a lot of gems, but conversely, like getting Bison copies is very, very difficult. So would it be nice if the rewards were better distributed? Would it be nice if there was some kind of pity system that we could actually see and like tell us, hey, if you spend, you know, making numbers, 20,000 gems, you will get a Bison copy. Those would all be improvements for sure. We'll probably just do two more topics here. We've got one from 2 days ago talking about please just fix the cross-server invites on guilds, because it would be key for us to getting higher in the leaderboards. We need other members to fulfill the guild, but we can't find them on our server. So I have had conversations with Dino, who is the community manager on the Discord, and a few other people, and I've been told that we can expect the update to allow cross-server guild recruitment sometime in mid-April, and that is what they are hoping will be delivered from the feedback they've gotten from the devs. But if you are not aware, basically the game has an extremely confusing guild system. All guilds are region-based to start off with, so you're already dividing the community within a bunch of different regions, and then every region has a bunch of servers, hundreds of servers. And one of their changes they made about a month ago now is that you cannot search for guilds outside of your server only. So if you want to join somebody else's guild, not only do you have to make sure you're in the same region as them, you have to also find a way to be in the same server as them. And this has really killed the ability to recruit other players and fill up the guilds. Our guild, for example, is the number 2 guild in the game right now on the NA server, and we are not even full because we just have no way to get more server 1 players. If we check our leaderboards right here, just quick humble brag, 2nd place right now. But we are not even a full guild because we cannot get enough players from server 1 to join us. So obviously it looks bad. It makes it feel like the game is dying. Hopefully they're going to fix this soon. It'd be really cool if we didn't have cross server anymore, or if we allowed like cross regions, and we could bring in some of my EU friends and make one giant happy guild family. But especially with the size of the guilds continuing to increase as we level up guilds, it's going to be harder and harder to fill up guilds, and we really need that ability to recruit. So I get that they had to do it, but man, it is a sucky change, and I am super excited for them to get it back. One thing to be aware of is you can, if you're a guild leader, you can set a deputy that you trust in a different guild. So you could like put a server 10 player as your deputy if you want to invite a server 10 player to your guild, because you can still send out declarations, and that does allow them to find the guild and join it. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. This is a great suggestion by Top 8 here. It involves Inverse World Restart. Allow us to restart Inverse World with the same modifiers we're currently using instead of having to re-enter all the modifiers every time. 100% agree with this. If you're not aware, you know, we have Inverse World, and you can go through and you can select like, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, and get different rewards. But if you quit because you're struggling or whatever, it is a nightmare to figure out what you had selected before and keep track of what you want to change. It'd be so great if it selected automatically, and maybe if you were struggling, you just got rid of one. So that is some excellent feedback, and I would really appreciate that change. And the final topic I want to talk is about the guild effigy. So you can see there's a good amount of feedback here. We got rule of 2 talking about effigy battle, start times, me with my effigy guild battle. I think this is a great mode, the effigy battle mode, but I think there are a ton of opportunities in order to improve it. Oh, somebody's a hater. So a lot of the feedbacks is in a specific, it's complaining about like the time that reset happens, so it doesn't even allow you to get on and do your attacks. And so there's a suggestion to change the time. I'm personally not a big fan of that. I think it limits, you know, just because it's a time that doesn't work for you in an A doesn't mean it's not a time that works for somebody else in EU. So are we really going to have like a bunch of different starting times based on region as opposed to just at reset? Also, some people work night shift. Some people, you know, are busy during the day. Like, it just doesn't really make sense to change the time. I think the mode itself has flaws. You know, specifically, there are these missions here that are like participate in battles 3 times, participate in battles 15 times, or like participate in prediction, or inspire allied guardians. Like, I cannot complete these events because of the way the mode is set up, because it's pretty much only available while the battles are happening. And the issue is battles happen for my time, what, at like 4 a.m. At like maybe 5 a.m. and like the mode is done already. So I have not even been able to get footage of effigy battle fights whatsoever at all. Like, I've never even gotten to participate. And so while I really like the fact that it's a mix of PvE and PvP, I like that there's a leaderboard, I like that there's gonna, you know, be rewards for doing well. The whole system of like getting activity points is very dumb, because it doesn't encourage you to beat your opponent quickly. It encourages you to let their guardians revive and stick around and get more activity points just to be further ahead. That makes no sense whatsoever. My suggestion was that the guardians can keep reviving throughout the day, and every member gets a chance to attack the guild effigy, and obviously depending on the guardian level will determine how much damage you're doing to the guild effigy. But basically it is just a summation where the guild effigy has infinite amount of HP, and you are figuring out how much damage as a total did the guild do to your guild effigy versus they did to, how much damage they did to yours versus how much damage you did to theirs. So obviously if you have stronger PvP players, you can take out their guardians easier, which will allow for more attacks against the guild effigy. If you're really strong in PvE, maybe you let your PvP players attack first. I think it encourages strategy that way. I think it doesn't limit what time you know, people have to sign on for the day. It will allow them to sign on at any point that works best for their schedule. And also it just fixes the problem with these missions, you know, that we can't even do whatsoever at all because it is happening so early at reset. It fixes the activity points problem. That's just a change I would love to see. It's a pretty broken mode. I really don't like how it's structured whatsoever at all, but I do think it has a ton of potential. So I want to see it improved. I want to see people get equal opportunities for effigy clash. And yeah, I think that would be a great change. So those are your suggestions about how Street Fighter Duel could be improved. Let me know in the comments below any suggestions you have. Obviously, if you feel like there's something that just has to be said, make sure you join the Street Fighter Duel Discord and you can leave your feedback in the game feedback channel. But that's all I had in for this video. Hopefully we see some of these changes take place. Let me know if you agree with my thoughts, and I will see you on my next video, which will probably be Akuma. We'll see if I can come up with another idea between now and then. I'm kind of running short on ideas of things I want to talk about. So if you have questions about anything, let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video about them. But otherwise, I'll see you all later. Bye.